So you're catching me on the 30th of September in England. The weather is grey, piss wet through, and for some reason people don't know how to drive. I've already seen a couple of crashes, including someone driving into a tree. Brilliant news. I'm on the way to the gym after work and I'm going to be talking Sheffield United. Are we as good as we look? As a fan, I'm not too sure. Am I optimistic, am I pessimistic for the end of the season and how it's going to go? That's what we're going to discuss in this video. So far we're unbeaten and we had a -2 point reduction, we're in the playoffs and we're looking good. We've not conceded a single goal in September, which, what did we concede? 104 goals last season in the Premier League, so bits of improvement. Just before I start the video, I'm just going to ask you to pop a like on the video and please subscribe to the channel. I do different tactical videos, I do analytical videos, and I do these weird car speak videos which you probably feel weirdly uncomfortable at, but you know, if you're playing a bit of FIFA, just stick it on in the background and enjoy what I have to say. So, Sheffield United last season got relegated with less than 20 points, 104 goals conceded, a lot of deadwood in the squad. Started the season with Paul Heckingbottom as manager. Chris Wilder came in around Christmas time, maybe November, and took the ship down. And I think about 16 players left this summer. 10 players came in roughly. The squad is it's a lot tighter, but every player serves a purpose now. There's no passengers. You look at the back five, including the goalkeeper, 4 new players, just 4. Ahmedhodzic has stayed, but Cooper, Gilchrist, Sutar and Burrows were all newcomers. You look at the CDM position, Ollie Arblaster with his first full season in the Championship after, you know, quarter of a season last season in League One and a quarter of a season, I'd say, in the Premier League. And then you look at the 3 behind Kiefer Moore, who's a newcomer as well. We've got Raksaki or Brooks on the right wing, who both haven't ever had a Championship campaign, really. You've got Callum O'Hare, who's potentially the most experienced player for us, and Gus Harmer, who is our best player by far. And whilst I'm speaking about Gus Harmer, this is one of the slight issues which I've got with Sheffield United this season. He's by far performing his XG, and he is also by far our best, most productive attacking outlet. On the first day of the season against Preston in a 2-0 win, I think it was, he scored like a 25 to 30 yard chip shot. The XG on that must have been like 0.05. And it was a good goal. And good players normally do outperform their XG, so maybe the fact that we're outperforming XG just means that we've got quality players, and I'm happy by that. But we are outperforming XG, and you know, we've not conceded a single goal in September from a possible. I think there was a couple XG. I think the defence was fairly solid, but I think we've conceded about 3 goals this season. We should have conceded about 5 or 6 in terms of XG, and it slightly worries me that does, because usually when you're outperforming your XG, usually there comes a part of the season where you're going to underperform it. But our numbers are fairly solid at the same time. So it's a case of, instead of winning 3-0, we might win 2-1 in a match, which still means points on the board, which is brilliant. Another slight issue that I have with Sheffield United, and I just don't want to be pointing out issues, all right? I will move on to the positives. And also at the end of the video I'm going to speak about, you know, my most optimistic end to the season and potentially my most pessimistic. But another issue I've got is in terms of squad depth. Already Ollie Arblaster has got an injury, I think it's his ankle. We don't know how long he's out for. Chris Wilder's trying to say it might not be too long, but we can't fully tell. And who's coming for Ollie Arblaster, an inexperienced player? Another inexperienced player's coming, Sidney Peck, and he's doing really well. I think he's maybe 21, came through the Sheffield United Academy. Well, he's not really, so I think we got him from Arsenal a couple of years ago, but he's young and experienced, he's a good lad, but you know, that is the depth that we've got on the show. And picture this, all right? Imagine that Gus Harmer gets injured next week, and so does Kiefer Moore. All of a sudden, up front we'd have to play Rhian Brewster or Tyrese Campbell, both of which get injured a lot. And then at left wing, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Sam McCallum might come in. We might go to a 4-3-3 and move Callum O'Hare out to the left, or I don't know, Raksaki on the left or Brooks on the left. Either way, I'm sure that you can understand that there's not much depth. I'm struggling to even work out who'd replace a left winger. And Gus Harmer's not necessarily even a left winger himself. Got the feds coming along. Probably another crash with how the bloody weather is. I don't even know if it's legal to record in your car, to be fair. They might be coming after me. Either way, Sheffield United and squad depth in XG. That's the points which I'm alluding to. Oh, it's fire engine. Yeah, probably not crash. Yeah, that's points which I'm alluding to. But the good points, the defence looks solid. Chris Wilder has overseen the rebuild extremely well, better than I expected him to. The fact that we're unbeaten this season after about 7 or 8 games is fantastic. We've had some difficult opponents in there. I think we've played QPR, Derby at home. They were decent. Portsmouth away we just had. Some other tough games which aren't coming into my head for some reason. We had, what else have we even had? For some reason it eludes me who've had. I have watched every game. I've been to a couple of them, but for some reason I can't think. But yeah, it's looking really good, and we've got key players performing. I still feel like Kiefer Moore is going to start adding goals. He's been really good in build-up play, but I feel like he's going to add goals, and it's good. But then you look at other teams in the league. I'm thinking your West Broms, your Leeds, Norwich look quite good. Middlesbrough, I feel like Michael Carrick could easily get them up there this season. I feel like Coventry, they will be improving. Burnley, and getting the top 6 is the goal for Sheffield United. And I feel like we will get it, providing that we don't get many injuries. But there's a lot of strong teams in there, and it is the top 2 too far for us? I'm not too sure, because it's still early doors in the season. We're still working out who's good. I think West Brom and Leeds are going to get the top 2. Leeds' squad quality is just too good, and if it wasn't for Leicester and Ipswich last season, they'd have gone up themselves. West Brom with Corberan, they're looking really good. A couple of their players left from last season. I think Thomas Asante left, Josh Madger's come up front and done perfectly well. I think a defender may have left. Connor Townsend went to Ipswich, and they've signed a new massive fucker at left back, and he looks quite good. I think there's a couple more players that have left, but their squad is so good. And then you've got Burnley. Scott Parker, he's a specialist in the Championship with good teams. Burnley, as much as they have lost a lot of their players, they had a lot of players to begin with, and they've still signed some players, and they're looking good. They are looking really good. They're the main 3 that worry me. And as I say, there's also, you know, your chasing pack, your Coventry, your Luton, your Norwich. Norwich, I reckon they'll get the playoffs from what I've seen already. We've played them. I think we drew away at their place. Well, we didn't lose and we didn't win. So yeah, we drew away at their place, and they look quite strong. Yeah. There was another point which I had, but it has eluded me. The main point is that I'm just full of praise for Chris Wilder. It's took a team void of confidence into a team full of confidence. It's gone from a 5-3-2 system to a 4-2-3-1. Alan Neil, a lot of Sheffield United fans know he is, you know, the tactician as such. Chris Wilder's a motivator, he's good on the training pitch, but Alan Neil, he's the tactician. He'll be drilling the players where to be, how to build out from the back in this 4-2-3-1 structure. It's so good to see. The 2 CDMs, normally it's Arblaster and Vinny Souza, but obviously Peck's in there for Arblaster for the time being. They both dictate where the ball's going to go. The centre-backs are so calm on the ball. It's good to have Cooper in net, who has a bit of composure about him. His distribution's good. He's not really had to make many saves, but whenever he's been called into action, he's looked confident. And I've been happy from what I've seen from basically every player that we've signed. Ryan Brewster's not been injured yet this season. He's had a spell of about 2 months now without getting injured. The shock. I really hope he doesn't get injured though, because he's a fan favourite. The players all love him. There's a reason for that. He's a good lad, and rooting for him. Yeah, that's this video. Just to end it off, I'm going to give you my most positive outlook on the end of the season. I reckon that we could get top 2. As I say, my prediction isn't that, but if I'm being really optimistic, I think top 2 is a potential finish. And if I'm being really pessimistic, I'd say we get a few injuries. The squad looks tired and young and inexperienced, and we end up missing out on the playoffs. Yeah, let me know, Blades fans, any fans from any clubs, what's your most optimistic finishes for Sheffield United this season? What your most pessimistic could be? Let me know your reasons, and also let me know what you want me to speak about in the next video. But until next time, I will see you then.